Thursday, February 28th. I'm Rim.
I'm Scott.
And tonight, we talk about underwear on Geeknights.
Let's do this. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Will you stop saying that?
No. I should start every show with that. It'd be great.
You know, usually on a day like today, we start the show with woman.
Yeah, it's true. It was
Space is one coal. Because
in 2 or 3 weeks, it's gonna be warm again. I'm gonna be wearing shorts within the month. That's I declare. Within the month, shorts.
You know, I'll put it this way.
30 days.
Yesterday was kind of warm, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go back to wearing.
If I have to, on some day when I'm inside and not going outside, I'll wear shorts inside.
But I'm gonna go back to wearing the coat I like instead of the coat I wear when it's like bitterly ass cold out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wearing the winter coat, right? And soon I'll transfer to like the leather jacket and then the hoodie and then the nothing.
I'll pretty much go to the blazer until I can get away with nothing.
I can't wait until I can go to the nothing. That'll be good times.
But I actually had to. I went outside, stood there for a second, went, woman, walked back in, took off my nice coat, put on the snow coat, and went back outside.
So usually
it was like 1 degree this morning.
Usually I put my hand on the window to figure out how cold it is outside, and that's a pretty good test.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
So I don't
wind, though.
So I don't go outside and then go back in like a dumbass.
It was extra cold. Plus, hand on the window doesn't help.
Yeah, it does.
No, not if it's just windy cold, because it wasn't that cold. I think what really brought it below the line was the fact that it was like a billion-mile-an-hour wind.
Hand on the window is not, like super accurate temperature telling, but regardless of that, I only have like 3 or 4 coat options, ranging from no coat to heaviest coat.
I have a lot of coat options.
By touching the window, I can pretty much figure out which option is most likely.
See, I go from actually wearing shorts and stuff and then changing when I get to work and biking to wearing, my trench coat, to wearing the trench coat with the liner, to wearing just the liner, to wearing the winter jacket, plus or minus gloves, plus or minus hood, plus or minus hat.
Yeah, see, I don't have these problems.
I have multiple levels of glove, ranging from my nice leather driving gloves all the way up to the ski gloves that also protect me.
Yeah, see, I have just the winter gloves.
I also
pretty much only use them if I have to touch snow.
I also have my hockey gloves, but I don't think I'll ever need to wear them again in my life.
Where do you have hockey gloves? They're not here.
You want to see my hockey gloves?
You have hockey gloves here.
They're in my bag with all my other gloves that I never use because there's never good skiing weather when I'm ready to go skiing.
Uh-huh.
And no one ever wants to play hockey.
I would like to play hockey.
I'll teach you. I'll spend as much time as you want teaching you how to play hockey.
You need to get 2 goalies and
I think
8 other people and 10 sticks and a puck. You need to rent out an ice rink.
I think you need to learn first how to skate. And then from there, how to hold a hockey stick.
I know how to hold I know all the hockey skills except for skating.
I somehow doubt that.
Yeah.
I really somehow doubt that you somehow don't know how to skate yet know how to play hockey.
If you want to play hockey without skates, just like in a gym with a rolly ball and feet, awesome.
You realize that skating and shooting and handling a puck is effectively a completely different skill from walking or running and doing the same thing. And also, handling a puck is nothing like handling a ball.
You can get one of those floor pucks.
Those are nothing like handling a real hockey puck.
I think
also, they really don't roll. Usually, they just kind of tumble head over heels.
Yeah, I think I'll be all right once I get the skating action.
You want to learn how to skate?
No.
Why not?
It's not too much money and time.
Takes almost no money. You can rent skates for like nothing.
I got better things to be doing.
Okay, you're never going to play hockey.
All right, if we get rid of the podcast, we can play hockey.
I really want to play some hockey. God damn.
Why don't you go join like the old guys hockey league?
I'm not old enough for that.
You could join the semi-old guys hockey.
It's not like when I was a kid where I could just walk outside and there would be multiple roller hockey games just going every day. All I'd have to do
I was talking about ice hockey.
Well, actually, if I wanted to get in my car, there were just pickup games of ice hockey pretty much every pond and reservoir everywhere.
Didn't people fall in?
No, what do you mean fall in?
Like, because where I was, there were ponds and things, but they were rarely frozen enough for safe skating.
I lived in Michigan where people would make a point of making sure that ponds were ready to be skated in.
Uh-huh. All right.
Yeah, people
as
didn't
long as you
through.
Check, you can't go.
Plus, if you
go skating on some random pond.
If you grow up above the Messier line, especially in a place like Michigan,
I'm well above the Messier line.
You just know you're not in spirit because you just know you can look at a pond and go, that is a hockey pond or that is a dying pond.
Well, I think another thing is that your proximity to the Great Lakes offered you many more pond options.
Even though you didn't play hockey on the Great Lakes.
No.
That's like saying you haven't go play hockey in the Atlantic.
Yeah, I'll go play hockey in the Gulf of Mexico.
Sing some Volga boat song while we go out there to
No,
die.
I'll play hockey in the Caribbean.
You know what you do on the Great Lakes, though? Ice fishing.
Oh, great.
You ever been ice fishing?
No, I've never been fishing.
You want to go ice fishing?
No.
'Cause I'll tell you this.
It's cold.
Ice fishing sucks ass.
If I was gonna do fishing, I
have ice fish.
I would go sun fishing.
I have ice fish. Have you ever seen a sunfish? Do you know what
I
a
guess
sunfish?
in an aquarium.
What does sunfish look like?
I don't know. I was talking about fishing in the sun.
I'm
not
talking
fishing
about
for sunfish.
But no, I don't want to fish for sunfish. I just want to be friends with sunfish.
Okay, I want to fish where it is sunny and warm.
I suggest you Google image for sunfishes. But anyway, all that aside, my new laptop is so hot. I think
It's all right.
I really, really like it.
Well, of course you like it. You bought it.
Yes, after a lot of research, I decided on this one. And I got to say, once my bag comes and I
A
can carry this
sunfish
thing
is a
around,
normal looking fish.
they're big and they're flat.
Some of them.
All the cool ones are. Anyway,
Some of them look kind of sharky.
I know a lot of you read my blog early on and then noticed that I haven't really posted in my blog in a long time. And many of you complained that Scott and I don't really blog so much.
Not much, but I came up with an idea of something to blog.
Well, actually, now that because a lot of times, pretty much every day, I'd be on the train, right? And I'd think, I know what to blog about, and I'm ready to go. But I was on the train, and I thought, oh, well, I'll write it in my Moleskine, and that didn't happen. And then I'd get home and be like, time to blog. No, time to take a nap, time to play a game, time to do something
I
else.
didn't even, my blog doesn't even like enter my consciousness off. You know, it's just sort of like when I think about it completely randomly, then maybe something will happen.
I have a lot to say.
I don't think about it often.
I got a lot to say about a lot of things that I can't talk about on the podcast, mostly because you don't care about politics. So once my bag comes...
Oh, great, Rim. What we need is another political blocker.
Oh, yes, we do. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, we do.
Because you can contribute so much that all the other 10 billion people already haven't contributed.
Oh, definitely.
You have something to say that no one else has to say.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I can say this, though. Starting probably a week and a half from now, you're going to see Rim's blog have a precipitous, meteoric rise.
So one post.
Probably about, I think I can manage a post a week at minimum.
We'll see.
In fact, I'm willing to put money up, but I'm still in the process of installing stuff on my laptop and configuring things. And
I don't know what you need to install besides Firefox.
Audacity,
You don't need that to blog.
I need that to do Geeknights stuff.
You gonna do
iTunes, because I'm not going to use the Mac for that anymore.
That's probably a good idea.
I got a lot of things I'm going to use this laptop for.
All right.
Also, setting up the fingerprint reader and setting up the...
Well, that's already kind of set up. You just sort of wave your finger and then it works.
I just set up all the like password things I can do with it. I can do some cool stuff internally with it.
Yeah.
And also the camera, I played with it a little bit, and I might just start putting really bad YouTubes of my face up on YouTube for no reason.
How you gonna record these?
It comes with some software.
They can't be good software.
It's good enough for YouTube.
I don't know.
YouTube doesn't need much.
Plus, the only YouTube you can make is your face talking.
I could also hold stuff up.
I guess. You could use the webcam for, actually. That wouldn't suck.
Testicles.
Well, no, you could Skype people and you could see you while you're Skyping them.
Yeah, I don't really have a need for that. Though I guess that'd be good if we were interviewing someone, because then, especially someone who's not used to being on the radio, you can get that kind of a face to react to. A lot of people have a lot of trouble talking to people on Skype and
Or we
interview
could
form.
show things to them, like, what do you think about this? And hold up,
My
like,
testicles.
Great, yeah. No.
You didn't have a leader bit. I had to kind of just kind of.
You know what? I don't lead a bit this way because this is what my day is. My day has been pretty much wake up, get ready to go to work, take one train later than I usually take. All this week I've been taking the one train later.
Oh, why?
Because I'm lazy.
Nah.
And this morning I actually forgot to set my alarm. I wasn't going to take the later train, but I
wow.
did.
See,
I
luckily,
actually forgot to set the alarm. I woke up at like 6:45. I didn't take a shower either.
See, luckily with this IP phone and all this stuff I got, if I actually woke up too late to catch my train, I could pretty much just do my job from home.
I could do my job from home too. I just, don't.
See, I would.
And
actually,
they wouldn't, pay me to.
See, my job would pay me to. And in fact, I have a feeling, I'm not going to test this yet because I'm doing a lot of work, but I'm pretty sure I'd be a lot more productive at home than I am in the office.
Yeah, of course, anyone will say that. Yeah, I'll be more productive at home, sure.
See, I think I would be because when I worked from home at IBM, I always got more done in like the 4 hours I worked from home before I actually drove into the office than I ever did in my office.
Yeah. Well, I think I'd be more productive as a whole in my life if I worked from home. I don't know if I'd be more productive in terms of my work for work.
You know, for work, I definitely think I would be. Mostly because people can't walk up to me and say, hey, can you work on the blah? They can only interact with me via email and telephone calls.
And see, that actually doesn't, that's actually, like, I'll be sitting there with no work, and someone will come and say, hey, do the blah, and that's how I get work
My
done.
job is different because my job is basically stare at very important computers and react furiously if anything at all goes wrong with them, and also networks and stuff. But when nothing is going wrong, I have enough proactive kind of cool work to do. I have more work to do that I don't have to do, which is work that I can do when I'm not working on more important, like critical things, than I had in my previous 2 jobs combined ever.
Is that's the kind of work?
My plate is
If there's
bigger.
work that doesn't have to be done, usually I don't do it. I'll just play like Flash games instead.
Well, see, this is work I want to do. This is like that big, the stuff I always said, man, if only a company would let me do this. And now I have a company that's like, please do this.
Yeah, I don't have too much of that.
I'm setting up wikis. Oh, man, wikis.
All right. Can we move on to news things today?
All right, what do you got in the news here?
All right, actually...
Captain didn't have a news until just now.
Well, I stopped reading news and things, so now it's very hard for me to get a news, especially on Thursday. You know, at least on, like, Tuesday I can read gaming blogs, or Wednesday I can read anime,
You want to know how to get news on Thursday? I just go to Google News, and there's like 4 things on the front page I could talk about.
Well, I went to Google News, and I didn't find anything particularly interesting until I looked at the local Google News, and I found a story.
Is this a story about it's doo-doo from yesterday?
No.
'Cause
That would have been great. I wish.
Because I know that whatever it was wasn't there this morning.
No. This is just a simple, Crime Watch news story from the town of Beacon.
Oh, man. I remember at RIT, the only reason to read the Reporter was the Crime Watch.
Yeah, you would
people
read...
did some stupid
RIT
shit at
didn't...
RIT.
Unlike other schools, which had real, school newspapers... RIT had this weekly magazine that was, no offense to the people who worked on it, because they did what they could do, what they were allowed to do, but it sucked.
Pretty much every year at some point, the University of Rochester would just kind of drop their school newspaper off at
Which
RIT.
is a real newspaper on newsprint.
As this kind of big, haha, fuck you, here's a real newspaper, guys.
Yeah, and even though I didn't go to their school, their newspaper was good to read.
Also, their arcade. God, we lived at RIT. RIT was awesome. But if you wanted to play arcade games or read a newspaper, you had to go to the University of Rochester.
All right, so anyway.
Of course, if you wanted to learn anything...
Okay, you're dragging it out here.
I am dragging it out.
Let's not. Okay.
Why?
Because I want this episode shorter.
Why?
And I want to eat.
Okay.
So anyway, check out this local Crime Watch news. Usually the best part of the shitty RIT newspaper was the crime news. Here's the crime news from Beacon. You ready? Okay, so a guy, he was driving, 25 years old, around 8 at night on Church Street. He's driving.
I know where that is.
Yeah, I know where that is too. It's in the town we live in, right? And the cops try to pull him over.
Huh, for what?
For not wearing a seatbelt.
Uh-huh.
The cop saw he didn't have a seatbelt, so the cop goes, wee, wee.
I'm often dubious because I look at other cars, and unless I am right there, you can't tell if someone's wearing a seatbelt or not. Unless you're really, really gunning for him.
Okay, regardless, right? The cops start chasing him, for the seatbelt, right? And he doesn't pull over.
All right, obviously, car full of weed.
Oh, wait. So he keeps driving away from the cops. The cops chase him down Church Street, right? And they see something fly out the window of the car.
Obviously a dime bag.
Okay, so they finally pull him over.
All right, I got to say one thing to this dude, regardless of where the story goes. And this is a public service announcement. There are 2 parts. 1, and I'm quoting someone else, no one ever got arrested for pot brownies. And 2, if you're going to get pulled over, unless it's out in the open, or you were smoking it just then, which is a bad idea, they're going to give you a ticket for speeding or whatever, and you're going to go along your business.
So anyway, they got him, right? for the seatbelt, whatever, and they did their police thing, right? And then they went and they found the thing he threw out of the window.
So, was this not a dime bag? Because I'm hoping that the story suddenly turns Fark.
No, it was a CD case, a CD jewel case.
Full of CDs?
No, full of 2.5 ounces of cocaine.
Oh, cocaine.
Cocaine, right? So,
because if you had said 2.5 ounces of weed, I would have said, "Wow."
No.
That's like that's Dwayne sad right there.
But it fit in a CD case. It was 2.5 ounces. If you would have just left the CD case where your CD cases in your car go, how would the cops have seen it? Were they?
It's not like
if you had just pulled over calmly and acted like a normal person,
or pulled over and gone into the tirade of "fucking officer seatbelt," blah. Even then,
yeah, they would have gotten you for the seatbelt,
and maybe like the dice hanging there or something, but. They wouldn't really have had probable cause to search your car. Now,
unless you're a dumbass,
a lot of times marijuana people get caught because they were smoking it right then. In which case, I have no sympathy for you at all.
No,
you shouldn't be smoking weed and driving.
No, that's a bad idea.
If you weren't smoking it right then, I mean, granted, if you've got a lot of it, your car's
unless
probably
this guy
smell.
had just snorted some of the cocaine.
But even then, there is a somewhat distinctive scent of marijuana. I've smelled it often at RIT.
It smells like trash.
It smells like Damn It Dwayne.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, it doesn't smell at all like Damn It Dwayne because no one would sell Damn It Dwayne any damn weed because he was called Damn It Dwayne for a reason. Damn it, Dwayne.
Damn it.
But unless you were just smoking it. Well, when cocaine, 2.5 ounces of that is not going to smell like anything.
No, at least not if it's in a CD jewel case. And I think this is a really great argument of not to snort cocaine because, if you snort cocaine, it'll make you so stupid that you'll be caught with 2.5 ounces of cocaine. You see, if he wasn't snorting the cocaine, like if I had that cocaine in my car, and if I wasn't snorting it, I wouldn't have been stupid because it wouldn't have fucked up my brain, and I wouldn't have gotten caught.
Well, anecdotal evidence seems to indicate that cocaine doesn't really make you stupid so much as it just turns you into kind of an asshole. Kind of a really intense asshole.
Well, obviously it makes you stupid because here I have, I guess I have correlating sort of evidence and not so much the causation evidence.
I submit that perhaps
there is a correlation of 1-to-1 here in my sample.
I submit
in my scientific study of people who snorted cocaine and people who were so stupid they got caught with a small amount of it.
All that happened, it was simple. Dude was kind of dumb and panicked. And if had he not panicked, he would have had a relatively minor ticket that he probably could have fought in court.
Yep.
So in other news...
I think it just goes well with your fake seatbelt from yesterday.
The fake seatbelt. That guy is almost my hero. I was laughing about it again today.
He's the anti-hero if anti-hero meant something different.
But I like anti-heroes. I don't like him. I guess I like him in the ironic
I said
sense.
if anti-hero meant something different, as in the opposite of hero.
Anyway... So I'm not going to talk about the details of this, but I think it's kind of cool. There's this article on Slashdot about nanotechnology-powered wiperless windshields. Now, people always talk about, the future is flying cars and terabit Ethernet and like levitating whatever and the real future of science is things like this. Simple technological advances that can just make a known problem go away forever. The idea here, now there's also a cool side bit. There's no English article. There is a translation of the Italian article done by the Google thing.
How can you trust that?
If you just read the article and didn't know it was translated, you wouldn't know it was translated. The Google translator has come a long freaking way.
Because I remember the last time this happened where the only source was a foreign article was that time where it was like, Australia, they made werewolves.
That was Russia, I thought.
I forget.
Plus, that article has come up perennially, and it always has the same picture of a dog every time.
Yep.
But this story, the idea
I know, zombie dogs, not werewolves,
Yes.
but whatever.
The idea here is that what if you made a windshield using, nano surfaces that just was hydrophobic to the point that you didn't need windshield wipers?
And see, this is the kind of problem where, solving it or coming up with a better solution, right, is difficult because it's basically you only notice problems that are problematic. And if we have a solution for something, right, it's unless you your attention is drawn to it. I mean, the problem of water on windshields is solved by windshield wipers. So no one
And
thinks
Rain-X.
Well, yeah. So no one thinks to solve that problem because it's not a problem. It's not an annoyance in everyday life. People only think to solve the problems for which there is no solution. And since pretty much most of the things of everyday life are sort of solved to some extent, that's why we've sort of switched from invention to innovation, where you're sort of improving on things. But even then, it's hard to recognize that something needs improvement when the existing solution is not so bad.
Now, beyond that, they claim that these nano surfaces could theoretically also remove dirt from the windshield by moving it toward the side and then eliminating it.
So make the rest of your car dirtier?
Basically making it an active windshield that does not require wipers.
That's pretty good if it works.
I think,
the thing is, does it only work if you're driving? I mean, because
I don't know. This is such early technology.
Does it require the wind of the car moving?
No, it looks like it's powered.
Powered with electricity?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
However, this is a side. I brought up this article because I think this is cool, and I think it makes the point that regardless of how well this specific technology turns out or works or whatever, the future of a lot of technology are very, very minor, subtle improvements to our day-to-day lives. That's how to write good science fiction, is to have these little touches. Like if you write a thing that's set 30 years in the future, no cars have windshield wipers because you don't need them anymore. And just, little things like that. But
can you think of one other thing like that?
Probably, if I put my mind to it, but I want to get
actually, I think that's the harder part than figuring out like the actual nanotechnology of
doors that just use biometrics. So I walk up to my house and the door opens when I walk up, no matter what.
They sort of have that kind of
just without me having to do anything active.
Yeah, I guess.
Elevators without doors.
We could have those now.
But we don't because of a lot of problems that could be
People
solved.
Falling out of them?
Yes.
So what problem is solved by removing doors from elevators?
You don't have to wait for the door to open and close.
Okay.
Anyway, you're the one who wanted me to get to the point because you want the show to end quickly. So my point here was simply that it was noted that this was powered. And someone made an argument about wasting power. And then someone brought up daytime running lights. Now,
this is what you were going to talk about.
I have a very short rant. I don't think I need to get into all the details. If you disagree with me,
you're wrong.
I don't think you understand the level of hatred and shit that will come down upon you from me.
I don't think you realize how wrong you are. This isn't a matter of opinion. It's a matter of fact we're talking about here.
But someone made the point of, it's wasteful. Just like daytime running lights, pushed upon us by the cartels, whatever, waste of resources, don't do anything, annoying as hell. And there are a lot of people who are really against daytime running lights. Now,
they're morons.
I'm of the mind that daytime running lights should be absolutely mandatory as they are in Canada and a lot of other civilized nations.
I think that every single car, if you don't have daytime running lights, you should have to have your headlights on all the time.
Now, the problem with that is that there is a difference in that headlights do use more electricity, are brighter, are not designed for that. Daytime running lights are. They're very different.
I do know this. However, the safety that will be increased by having the headlights on is worth the cost and energy.
I think there's a much simpler way.
And eventually, those people will get newer cars.
Just do what Canada did. All they said was, all new cars have to have daytime running lights, and eventually it solved itself.
But it'll eventually solve itself. But we could actually enforce, because people right now, they don't even know how to use their headlights. They put on like their parking lights on the highway when it's raining, and I'm like, you piece of shit. Turn on your fucking headlights.
Well, those are like the same people who don't brush off the top of their car after a heavy snow.
Exactly.
If I were a state trooper,
those I would give all my tickets to people who don't know how to use their headlights and people who don't brush off the top of their car.
But anyway, I'm not going to get into all the reasons, but daytime running lights being mandatory is a good idea from so many perspectives. Like, anyone who is against it either is an idiot or doesn't understand all of the scientific evidence backing the fact that they are an amazing idea. They increase safety by, God. So luckily,
there are numerous high-quality scientific studies that clearly show that daytime running lights decrease accidents tremendously. This is why you get such a break on your insurance if you have them. Trust me, your insurance wouldn't give you a break on something if they didn't have to. They're giving it to you for daytime running lights because it does reduce the chances of you getting in an accident incredibly significantly.
Things of the day. Now, I'm probably never going to do a thing of the day from this again because, in case you're not aware of it, there's this thing called The Onion. Now, The Onion is my favorite newspaper, my favorite news network, my favorite. God, I've loved The Onion pretty much forever. Well, I don't think I need to explain what The Onion is. You can figure it out.
The level of professionalism that they have at The Onion for their podcasts and their videocasts.
Yeah, The Onion Radio News and The Onion News Network, their production values rival the real news.
That's the production value that we at Geeknights are aiming to get.
Now,
that's the level we're shooting for.
Now, it's hit or miss with the Onion News Network. The Onion Radio News is always solid gold. Always.
Almost always.
The Onion newspaper is hit or miss. I mean, the articles are always
it's got ads in it, too.
Are very, very clever. It just depends on, sometimes they're clever in a cheeky way, and sometimes they're clever in an absolutely amazing way. But this particular Onion News Network, now, one, it takes a stab at Diebold.
Oh, that's
Number
hard.
two, it takes a very clever stab at Diebold. And number three, it takes a vicious stab at Diebold. The level of viciousness that is displayed.
It's a triple stabbing, is what you're saying.
I mean, The Onion is usually really kind of tongue-in-cheek and funny, and they tend to lean to the left. And actually, no, that I should take that back, because in American politics, when people say liberal or left, they actually mean centrist. There are almost no liberals in American politics and haven't been for a long time.
Pretty much.
At least any that had a chance or mattered.
If you think that, like, you know, someone like Obama or Hillary Clinton or The Onion.
Or even Bill Clinton.
Or Bill Clinton. If you think that is liberal or leftist, if you think that's leftist, you have no idea what leftist is. Lenin is left, all right? That's left, okay? Bill Clinton, far away from left.
Bill Clinton.
Very far away.
Was a socially liberal but right-leaning political centrist.
Yeah.
Also a fiscal conservative.
Nowhere near not Chomsky.
Noam Chomsky?
Noam
Chomsky is special.
He's pretty. I meant to say Trotsky.
Yes. Yes, Trotsky, Chomsky, effectively the same political ideology.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm fan. Noam Chomsky is hit 50-50 as well. But
yeah, I know, but the Oski got me.
This is funny and
With the slip of the
tongue-in-cheek,
tongue.
but I gotta say, the Onion News Network, this particular Diebold leaks the 2008 election results, is so vicious, but in that court jester, you can't actually do anything to me because I'm obviously making a joke. I pushed the parody so far that if you actually tried to sue me for what I just said, you would be laughed out of court. But at the same time, oh man, is it vicious, especially when they get the quote-unquote Diebold representative. Oh man.
Good actors too, very good actors.
They kind of pull that Colbert. It's so stupid, but yet they do it so straight-faced.
It's The Onion.
I really like the straight-faced comedy. But anyway.
I love the interviews of the people on the street. That's always the best part of The Onion anyway.
Oh, yes, it is.
All right, so check this out. Ready? 2008 North Dakota High School State Hockey Championships.
There's no way this is not awesome.
North Dakota definitely cares about the hockey because their state high school hockey championships are in what looks to be a full-sized arena of hockey, right? With, you know, real refs and real ice and the whole thing, right? Bigger than the RIT's hockey arena. This is a game it's the championship game between Grafton Park River and Grand Forks River. Okay, I don't know, a GFR and GPR. I don't know, I'm not from North Dakota. All I know is it's a game of hockey. And all I know is that in this video, what we have here is a situation in which the game is tied and there is not much time left. Now, when a game is tied and there is not much time left, what do actually no, I think a team is winning by 1. The score is not on the screen.
All right. So, what do you do?
Well, like the score is not on the screen, so so I can't really, figure out, because a high school game, it's someone in the crowd with a camera.
Man, I was waiting for you to say, what do you do, so I could say shoot the hostage, but anyway.
No. So, okay, a team is down by 1, all right? The hockey game is almost over. What do you do?
Start a fight.
No.
Kill the opponent's ref.
It's a much simpler,
Coach,
simpler answer.
Not ref.
Okay, Rim, pretend you're the coach of a hockey team, okay?
All right.
You're down by 1. There's not much time left. What do you say?
Well, all right, what I do, and this is kind of like one of those game theory, like there's an obvious answer.
There is an obvious answer.
You pull the goalie.
Yes.
And you put in your special offensive team, which is basically these 6 people who are your best offensive players.
Right.
And you tell them, score a goddamn goal or I'm murdering all of you after this game.
Okay, now let's say you want to pull the goalie, right? What are the mechanics? How do you pull the goalie without having the referee come after you?
Well, it's tricky because there's a lot of leeway in terms of how many men are on the ice. But as long as the goalie is on his way toward the bench and you put someone else out, you can usually get away with it.
Get away with it is what has happened here. Basically, they just put a 6th man out on the ice.
You know, the too many men, if you get away with it, that's because there were many times at RIT we'd be watching a game and the Tigers would put out an extra man for like 10 seconds and no one noticed except us and we kept our mouths shut. Of course, whenever the other team tried this, we had a guy whose job it was to count at all times the opponent's team. And at any time, if there were even a hint of 6 men, the entire crowd would immediately be cued to start chanting, "Too many men! Too many men!"
And if you're at a women's hockey game, it was too many people! Too many people!
And many a time, the ref would look up, hear it, because you could hear it. We chanted in unison.
In unison,
look at the ice,
50 people going, "Too many men! Too many men!"
Look at the ice and go, "Oh, tweet."
Yeah.
To which the opponent's coach would always go, "What the fuck? What the fuck?"
You had too many men. Tweet.
The refs loved and hated us.
Right. But anyway, this is a video. And watching this video, there is no denying, none, absolutely no denying whatsoever that what has happened here, right, is that a guy came out of the booth, right, but well before the goalie was in the booth, way before, right? Not only that, he got the puck pretty much as he came out of the booth, which is the definition of too many men, is when the puck goes near, you can have a guy sort of come out on the ice as long as the puck doesn't sort of go over there. Like, if you're far away from the play, it's sort of okay-ish. He gets the puck, he takes it over, and he scores. He's the 6th man, well, the 7th man, because the goalie was still on the ice. And that forces a tie, and then they win in overtime.
So no one noticed from the other team?
No, well, they totally noticed, and everyone's yelling, going, "Boo, boo, too many men." And then the refs, are sitting there discussing it like, fuck. And here is, on YouTube, undeniable video evidence of this travesty. I really don't have a stake in either of these two teams, but I feel for the team that is lost because they got screwed.
But at the same time, +1 balls for pulling that shit. The team that won.
Bad call. Ref won the game for the other team. They definitely had too many men on the ice. They had 6. Then they had the goalie, so 7, and then 3 refs, so it was 9 on 6. Not very fair.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of trouble coming up with a show to do tonight.
We basically sat around for the last 10, 15 minutes going, let's do a show on this.
Well, we'd originally planned to talk about Disney, but like Disney World, Disneyland, the amusement parks.
Or maybe Disney movies or Disney something.
Maybe not Disney movies. We wanted something kind of short, but most of my memories of Disney World are actually about the awesome road trips I took with my family or other, all the events around Disney World. Disney itself, meh.
Yeah, Disney World isn't, there are some people who are like Disney World geeks, but it's really not super exciting, but there's so many things there because, it's such a big place with such a long history that if you've been there even once, that you can talk about it for at least one show's worth.
Yeah, but tonight was not that night. We wanted something quick because we're still kind of recovering from Katsucon and we're actually already ramping up to get ready for the big stuff we're going to be doing at other conventions this summer.
August.
Yes, and we got a lot of stuff to get ready.
Yeah, we do.
God, stupid podcast. So we needed something quick. Let's talk about underwear.
Well, we were basically sat around and I was just like, trying to think of other shows we've done and try not to repeat a show and it had
to be something short and not something good because we didn't want to waste something good on a night when we're tired and hungry.
It's Thursday, so I'm trying to think of something not related to, I try to think of something that relates to every human being, and
plus this weekend we're going to record the rest of our Katsucon coverage. So we got another hour to record at some point.
Yeah, so my brain just sort of eventually wandered from the masturbation episode to the hygiene episode to underwear. And I'm like,
I'm a boxer's man, and I think briefs are the worst thing you can ever inflict upon yourself?
I wear the briefs, but I'm not like, adamantly opposed to other types of underwear, except for the boxer brief, which is terrible.
I don't know how you can deal with wearing briefs.
Yeah, I just put them on and I go.
But they kind of hold everything up there and together. And
That's if they're too small and you should buy new ones.
even if they're too big, I need to be able to hang completely loose.
But then you could see when I hang completely loose, because I wear boxers, I have one or two pair. Sometimes I'll wear 'em.
Maybe I don't have saggy ball syndrome.
It's not the balls that sag. It's, the stick. He'll go down one leg or the other leg or out the whole.
I'd rather him be able to go down a leg and get his exercise than be crammed into a tiny little space.
He's not
straining.
crammed in. He's going up. He's going up.
I don't want him to go up.
I want him to go up.
If he goes down, I can hide
That way
him.
he's not bouncing back and forth, slapping around,
Yes.
doing whatever.
If he's going down, I can hide him, especially if he gets excited. But if he's going up, I got
If
problems.
he's going up, he's perfectly hidden, right in the middle. If he's going down one leg or the other, that's when you can see him. One leg protrudes.
Only if you're wearing spandex.
more than the other leg.
If you're wearing tight pants, I can see your point.
I'm not wearing tight. I never wear any tight pants, so you can't see him no matter where he is. But the point is, there's a better chance of seeing him if he goes down one leg or the other.
I feel like I'd rather have him
Even
go
if
down
it's
a leg.
not a tight pant, it could be pulled taut against one leg or the other.
Plus, usually, I definitely am of the camp of grower, not a shower. So, not luckily,
I'm also the grower, not a shower.
when he's
but
not in use, nice and compact, it's usually
that's
not a
why he's so
problem.
nice and compact. I can point him up.
But I'd rather have him go down.
Nah,
Plus,
would not rather have him go down.
The sense of freedom, the exhilaration, just the having so much space down there is so important to me. And
Then why don't you just go commando?
the only reason I don't is because, one, occasionally zipper is exposed to flesh.
I don't really like other people that they open just the zipper. That's
No,
a
I'm not
recipe
talking
for
about
disaster.
that. I'm talking about sometimes, there's rough spots in the denim or in the depending on what pants I'm wearing, and I need that one thin layer of protection.
That's exactly what the brief is. It's just a layer of protection between the parts of your body.
So are the boxers, but the boxers, it's like you're not wearing underwear, but you still have
That's the thing is
protection.
sometimes the boxers are sort of not a complete layer of protection.
Yes, they
'cause-
are.
Nah.
Only if you have broken boxers.
Well, because they have a hole in the front, that's more loose, and the boxers don't. I mean,
You gotta buy
briefs-
quality boxers.
yeah, that's the thing is they're mad expensive.
I buy quality boxers.
How much money they cost?
I've spent between about $5 to $15 per boxer.
See, per boxer for $15, I can get a sack of briefs, like a
Yeah, and
huge
you know
bag
what?
full
You know
of
what?
them.
Over the years, my policy, especially in college, when it came to laundry, and this is important, and I think anyone who wears underwear should follow a similar strategy, in that every time you were forced to do laundry when you were not prepared to, take inventory and say, all right, what was it that forced me to do laundry? And you should probably buy more of whatever that was, so you're never forced to do laundry. You can do laundry at your leisure.
But eventually, you're going to have way too much of everything.
Or eventually you'll get to the point where you will get to the time or day when you are willing and ready to do laundry before you run out of something and are fucked.
I guess that's possible.
I've reached that point.
Of course, I would just, if I had more, if I had 10 more shirts, 10 more pants, 10 more everything, right? I would just do laundry 10 days, 10, 20 days after.
See, I don't roll that way. But in college, I did. In college, I would wear the last scrap. I'd wear that loincloth before I would do laundry.
Oh, that loincloth.
That was a pair of boxers that was basically worn down to the point, because I didn't have any money in college. It was basically a loincloth. And even then, it was mostly transparent.
People did not enjoy when you wore that and nothing else.
But it was so comfortable.
Yeah, not comfortable for everyone's eyes.
But when I hit the point in college, it was usually socks or boxers, and I'd buy more whenever I could get some money. As a result, I have 25 pairs of boxers.
See, the one advantage, I do wear the boxers sometimes, and I don't like how it manages the boys. However, there is one advantage of the boxer that I do like, and that is the airflow of the block.
Yes, the airflow is key, because whitey tighties
Tidy whities, you got it backwards.
cause the gases and the sweat to be really close to you at all times. And
See, if you manage them properly, it's not unpleasant.
I'd rather
It's
have the
just-
vents, the
The
full
thing
vent.
is actually the boxer is so airy. It's right? The thing is, right? And I have tested this in my lab, right? Wearing a lab coat, that if you actually keep wearing the boxer, or at least for me, right? then the airiness, you actually sort of stop noticing it because you don't have the brief to sort of compare it to.
I notice it every day.
It's like it's a relative thing. It's like if you keep drinking cold water, then
wait a minute. But you know what that argument is? You should eat shitty food just so you appreciate the good food. You should drive a shitty car every now and then just to remind yourself of a better car.
It's not shitty. It's just it's different. It has
it's shitty.
No, it's one is good in one way, and one is good another way, and neither is completely superior.
There's one use for tight underwear, but even then, I prefer the boxer briefs if I'm gonna wear a tight underwear.
Oh, boxer briefs. Oh no, because basically a boxer brief is the worst thing ever. Because all it is a brief.
It's a full shield.
It's a brief, right? Which is fine. But then it just has these leg things, which are just really tight cloth against the legs.
They're not that tight.
It's tight cloth against your legs for no reason whatsoever.
Sweat. Because otherwise, if you wear just tighty whities, especially if it's a sweaty environment, oftentimes, especially if it's really hot out, you might saturate them. And then ass juice on the pants.
I have never saturated the briefs ever.
Maybe that's because you never exert yourself.
Never have the briefs become saturated. That is not an issue.
You never go running or actually biking or mountain climbing or anything.
And if I were in a situation where I think they might become saturated, I would go for the boxer. That way the boxer isn't really touching me. It wouldn't absorb anything.
No, because if you're engaged in heavy activity
and
like
also
that,
the air would evaporate it all.
If you're engaged in heavy activity like that, you're going to need some support.
You can get some support from other places, like jock strap.
You don't want to wear a jock strap. You want to wear boxer briefs.
No, boxer briefs are never good.
Of course, the other important part is that nobody has tidy silks, but a lot of people have silk boxers. And I got to tell you, in my life, I've always kept at least one pair of silk boxers ready. And while you do not want to engage in any strenuous activity in silk boxers, because wet silk is basically very fine sandpaper, but
that's true.
Silk boxers,
silk boxers can be pretty nice, especially for like a pajama type situation, something along those lines, or a sexy time situation.
Of course, one step beyond that is the dangerous velvet boxers.
Well, I was about to say, in high school, somebody had a girlfriend of theirs construct for them the velvet boxer, thinking if the silk boxer is so great, would not the velvet or velour boxer be infinitely greater?
Velour.
Yes, and the answer is yes. Yes, it is so great. The problem is, no, it's too great. It is too great that it causes, it can cause problems.
Problems indeed.
Messes, if you will. Yes, do not go for the velvet or velour boxer unless you, unless you know what you're in for.
All right, I got one thing to say, though. There's this common colloquial, skid marks. People, the word comes up. I will say this to you. If you've got skid marks, you're not wiping properly, and that's the end of that. God.
Well, okay. In the vast majority of cases, you are correct. However, there is the shart incident.
The occasional shart or the occasional incident is okay. However, if you have perennial skid marks or a percentage of your boxers have permanent skid marks,
then you are either A, sharting way too much, or B, not wiping enough, or C, all the above.
Gotta wipe, bro. Gotta wipe.
You should wipe so much. See, the thing is, you need to wipe until you don't see anything anymore, right? On the toilet paper.
Yeah, I see a lot of, I guess I don't see, but I hear tell of a lot of people who blind wipe. They wipe a bunch and then they just pull the pants up.
No good.
You got to do that final test. It's like the scientist. Like, all right, is it clean? Final wipe. It's clean. Let's go.
Yes, me and Rim agree on this issue that you need to wipe until you don't see anything anymore. However,
I say one thing.
Rim uses much too much toilet paper to accomplish this task, and a adequate cleaning can be accomplished with far less toilet paper than Rim uses.
I would make the counter argument.
This is why Rim buys the toilet paper.
I would make a counter argument.
Because he uses way too much of it.
That I use a normal amount of toilet paper, and that Scott has a filthy ass.
What? Filthy ass? Skid marks? None.
Should we go check?
Dirty ass? None.
Should we go check? Should we pull out all our boxers or briefs if we're heathens and compare?
We can compare whatever you want, but mine are completely
You know what? I think
clean.
we got to hold this off I think we need to have a separate show on pooping.
Regardless,
I think we need a show on pooping.
I
because
wipe my ass until there is nothing visible on the toilet paper, I use less toilet paper than you use.
I was a somewhat dedicated reader of Poop Report back at RIT. I study the science of pooping. I try to make pooping a more pleasant experience for myself. And as the eminent Dave Riley said, when asked the question, what are the best and worst things in the world? The best thing in the world is pooping. The worst thing in the world is too much pooping.
Yeah. I just want to go end this on a point we brought up earlier about when you go to pee. I guess girls, this show really doesn't apply to you.
Oh, this is a guy thing, definitely.
We know nothing.
Every guy, with rare exceptions, has experienced this at some point. Maybe not to this degree, but there are situations where, I don't know if it's primal, whatever, like the base of the spine kind of action, but there are certain situations where a man's body will say, you know what? Not gonna pee. It's not the time. We're not peeing.
Yep.
Now, some people have this problem a little bit. I think that's what Scott was going to allude to.
Well, what I was going to allude to is that some people, when they go to pee, right, they will, just open the zipper.
And
pull the boys out.
I thought you were talking about the shameful peers and the shameless shitters.
No. They'll pull the boys out through the hole in their underwears and then through the hole in the zipper.
All right, I got this to say. Most of my pants, I really don't fit.
That's not gonna happen. He's just gonna scratch my John Thomas up on the zipper. That's no good.
Yes, the young master does not really fit well through a zipper or button only hole. You really need to bring the whole thing down.
Right. So the thing is, other people go too far. They drop the drawers to the floor.
I've never seen someone over the age of 7 do that.
That is unacceptable behavior.
And now, if I ever saw a businessman do that, I would probably confront them.
I've seen it happen.
Where?
At least 5 times. I can't remember specifics.
Outside of a highway rest stop, where?
Highway rest stop. I think an RIT restroom once.
Someone who was older than 7.
I think in an office building once.
I'm dubious. I've never seen this. Granted, I don't spend a lot of time watching.
It's rare. It's rare.
I don't spend
but
a lot.
It happens.
Scott seems to disagree, but I don't spend a lot of time watching other men pee.
I don't watch other guys pee either, but
yet you have all this evidence.
You can't not notice something like that.
I've never seen it though.
Regardless, don't do that. You unbutton the button, undo the zipper, you pull down a little bit, and that's what you do. That's what you do.
Oh, and button fly, boo.
Yeah, button fly is no good.
All right, I think we're done with this farce.
Wow, it was. Oh wait, I want to do one more thing. We didn't talk about women's underwear at all, but there is only one thing that guys can really say about women's underwear, right? And
they're not comfortable.
No, I wouldn't know about how comfortable they are.
I may or may not be wearing women's underwear right now.
I'm just gonna leave that alone.
Scott, am I wearing? You can see. Am I wearing women's underwear?
I have no idea. I'm not looking. However, we can talk about
they have frogs on them.
What we can say about women's underwear is their level of hotness. You see, the old frat boy question: do you prefer the girls wearing sort of the lacy Victoria's Secret underwears, or do you prefer girls wearing sort of the Hanes Her Way kind of normal underwears?
I like a balance between the two.
A balance, you say?
Because there's a time and a place for everything. There's a time and a place for the kind of sexually charged, I'm wearing a garment whose sole purpose is to be taken off in the act of sex.
You mean the underwear that just has a hole in it where...
And then there is the kind of I'm not sure how much detail I should go into.
The completely it's normal everyday underwear.
The hey, let's have sex underwear.
All right. Isn't that the underwear you just talked about?
Well, no, that's the hey, let's have sex. I happen to be wearing underwear.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I am a fan more, not so much of the the underwears that are supposed to be sexy, like the lacy kind of thingies. I find them sort of anti-sexy. Like the more normal, well, the other thing is that on the other end of the spectrum, you have like the grandma underwear, which I also sort of find unsexy. It's sort of like the
waved about most unsexily.
Quite. The normal underwear that
bloomers.
No, bloomers are the grandma underwear. I'm talking about, just...
I'll bet bloomers are comfortable.
I don't know. I wouldn't know. But normal, like, Hanes everyday underwear, I think is the most sexy of female underwears. That's what I have to say.
All right. Once again, Let's end this farce.
Yes.
Stay tuned next week when Geeknights is normal again. This has been Geeknights with Rim and Scott. Special thanks to DJ Pretzel for the opening music.
Be sure to visit our website at www.frontrowcrew.com, where you'll find show notes, links, our awesome forum, a link to our Frapper map, and links to all the RSS feeds.
We say feeds plural because Geeknights airs 4 nights a week, covering 4 different brands of geekery. Mondays are science and technology. Tuesdays, we have video games, board games, and RPGs. Wednesdays are anime, manga, comic nights. And Thursdays are the catch-alls for various rants and tomfoolery.
You can send us feedback by email to geeknights@frontrowcrew.com. Or you can send audio feedback via Audio. Just click the link that says Send Me an Audio on the right side of our website.
If you like what you hear, you can catch the last 100 episodes in iTunes or in your favorite podcatcher. For the complete archives, visit the website, which has everything.
Geeknights is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike 2.5 license. This means you can do whatever you want with it as long as you give us credit, don't make money, and share it in kind. Geeknights is recorded live with no studio and no audience. But unlike those other late shows, it's actually recorded at night.